This wasn't a rumor anymore. It was getting close to real. And then the door slammed shut. Because as trade buzz around Myles Garrett started to build, louder, more aggressive, more believable, the Cleveland Browns did something rare in the National Football League meetings. They didn't stay quiet. They didn't hedge. They shut it down completely. 100% definitely not trading him. Not vague, not careful, definitive. And that changes everything. Because this wasn't just off-season noise. Not after what Garrett just did. A record-setting 23 sacks. Defensive Player of the Year. The most dominant edge rusher in football playing at his absolute peak. That's the kind of player teams don't just call about, they push for. Aggressively. And behind the scenes they were, which is why this moment matters. Because for a brief second, it felt possible. Contract tweaks, quiet speculation, a coaching change that raised eyebrows when Todd Monken was hired over internal options. Even a subtle social media post from Garrett that didn't say much but said enough to get people talking. That was the opening. That's how these things usually start. Slow, indirect. Just enough smoke to suggest something could be there. But then comes the turning point. The Browns didn't just deny the possibility. They reinforced their stance publicly, forcefully, without hesitation. And when a team does that about a superstar, it's not just about keeping the player, it's about drawing a line. Because trading Garrett wouldn't just be a roster move. It would be an admission that the current window isn't working, that a reset might be coming. And Cleveland isn't ready to say that. Not with a generational pass rusher still in his prime, not with a defense that still runs through him, not with a player who has defined the franchise since being drafted. No, 1 overall. So instead of listening, they're doubling down. And that has ripple effects because every team that thought they had a shot, every front office quietly preparing an offer, just got the same message. Don't bother. At least not right now. But here's the part that lingers. In the NFL, never doesn't last forever. Situations change, seasons go sideways, pressure builds, and when it does, even the strongest stances can crack. Just not today. Today, the Browns made it clear. Myles Garrett isn't available. He isn't being discussed. He isn't part of any long-term speculation. He's the foundation. And if you want him, you're not negotiating. You're waiting for something to break, because until it does, this door isn't opening.